Hey, greetings, family. How are ya? How are ya? How are ya? This is your brother King Simon from KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Please join the family of KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com by going to that website and joining. Also, you can go to Numbers Are Simple. That's numbers, the letter R, simple.com and join that family. Those are two of my websites that you can get a lot of information from. And the WordPress one is really where you can get the merch and all that. Numbers Are Simple, more for information and updates on how to get your consultation, but both of them, it serves its purpose. Also, if you're on IG, hit me up on Numeroversity. That's Numeroversity. That's one of my IG, and my main IG account is King Simon Productions. Also on Facebook, if you can't lock down in my King Simon page, you can also go to King Simon Productions because that's unlimited amount of people can join the King Simon Production page on Facebook. And then Twitter, if you are a tweeter, please Twitter with me at King Simon Prod. That's Prod, King Simon Prod. And I'm on Tumblr, I'm on LinkedIn. And if you want to find out more about various events got coming up, of course, I am the one that's going to be handling the vending for Sonetta TV's event coming up on March the 22nd. And that's going to be the double-headed debate with Garfield and Brother Garfield and Brother Jabari, and the other one is Captain Tazariak and Minister Vince. So this is going to be very interesting. So if you want to vend, we already have a food vendor, but if you want to vend any other of your creative wares, please contact me, text me only, because texts get through. My phone is always on silent, so text is better for me, believe me. Or if you do call, leave a message. And I'll let you know the vendor's price and what time to set up and what you need to do. And in the month of April, I have a 2-day weekend with Professor James Smalls. One is a private event that only 55 people will be allowed in, no children allowed. This will not be live stream. It's going to be directly dealing with the no holds bar question and answer workshop with Baba Smalls on African spirituality, or original melanated spirituality, and how to apply it. That's what Baba Smalls will be directly dealing with it, because he's been doing it on various levels for 50 years. Also, the next day he will be speaking publicly at Nicholas Brooklyn Bookstore. That's April 18th is the private one for 55 people, and April 19th is the public one. Both of them cost different prices, but if you order both of them and you want to come to both of them, you get a $10 discount for both of them. So you get to come to the private one and you get to come to the public one. And children are free at the public one. Children are absolutely free at the public one from 0 to 17, from baby just born to 17 years of age. And for more information, you could text me there at 347-496-1022, or you can go on KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. That's KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. Please share this video, because I'm going to share basic meaning and mathematical numerovation meaning, because as you've heard me say on my channel numerous times, that numbers have a duality. And I believe that they've given a bad rap to Pandora's box. But when both, there's a duality in all numbers meaning, where it can be a lesson and a blessing. Even if Pandora's box in the Greek philosophy represents the negative or the ills of releasing something. But sometimes things need to be released so people can be aware and awoken to certain things. Interesting to me, very interesting. And you'll notice that I like to say that word interesting because I'm discovering just as well as you're discovering, but this is a basic meaning. Now, the origin and the usage of what we call Pandora's box. They said Pandora's box comes from the ancient Greek story about a character named Pandora who was given a box as a wedding gift, but was ordered not to open it. Look at the dynamics of those two. Let's start with that first. It was given to Pandora as a wedding gift. How do you give a woman, any woman, a wedding gift, which is supposed to be something of celebration, that we all give women wedding gifts, wedding cards, wedding appreciation. Especially if you go to any wedding, we all try to give a gift to a woman, and because the wedding is primarily about the women and the pageantry of women uniting or becoming a union with the man that they love. So in Greek philosophy or ancient Greek story, how do you give Pandora, a woman who is naturally inquisitive? Women question you. Women wants to know. Women have curiosity, just like any, but especially women. That's why women can be some of the best detectives when they know their man is cheating or something is going on in their child's life. They will pry. So how do you give a present or a gift, which is supposed to be a good thing? That's why I say there's a duality to this. And then tell her not to open it. What kind of craziness is that? And I'm saying that because it's hilarious for me when I just read, when you could Google just that basic meaning of what Pandora's box is. So it says Pandora's box comes from the ancient Greek story about a character named Pandora, a woman who was given a box as a wedding gift, but was ordered not to open it. Eventually, this is what it says, curiosity overcame her and she opened the box, releasing death, evil, and misery into the world. Interesting. Interesting. Like I said, how is it that you do this to this poor Greek woman? To any woman, you don't give a woman a beautiful box. Let's say it was a beautiful box adorned with all kinds of trimmings. And then you order the woman to not open it. Just leave it on her mantle somewhere and don't ever open this ever in her life. I don't even know how long right now I'm doing more research on Pandora's box and the whole Greek mythology about it. But it sounds like, it sounds similar to the Bible and the apple and the tree of knowledge, and then telling the couple not to go and bite of the tree of knowledge. It sounds similar to that. It's a similarity to that. I'm not saying that's where it comes from. I'm just saying there's a similarity, like giving inquisitive natured people a gift and then telling them, don't go to that gift because this is what's going to happen, or you got to be careful. You never even gave it, according to what I've read so far, you never even told the woman or the person that you've given the box to what's in it, why you shouldn't open it. That's why she became curious. And what they used to say, remember the old saying, curiosity kills the cat? But nobody ever finished that. It says curiosity kills the cat, and then we leave it right there. But the complete saying of that, according to different scholars and different people that studies those type of sayings and usage, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought them back. Makes more sense because a lot of people always hear that cats have 9 lives. So you're talking about curiosity. A cat would be curious enough and looking out of windows and then fall out of it, and then next minute they survive. Where the whole mythical reason of cats surviving and having 9 lives it's a mythical reason. You could Google and study and research about that mysticism around cat. And also because the cats are an old soul energy, and especially in numerology, when you read the word cat, it adds up to the old soul energy of the life and death, or the build and destroy energy of the number 8. that karmic number where karma can come either both ways in duality. That's why karma is just an aspect of cause and effect. So getting back to this Pandora, and you see on the board, I already wrote it out because it was deep in my mind because of, I think Black Dot said it on his, big up to Urban X and Black Dot and Malcolm Bowser for what Black Dot was speaking about in regards to D Wade. And we're in an interesting cycle right now. And I say it's very interesting because we're in a 2020 year cycle right now. Let me pull this back a little so I can get what I want in there. Okay. We're in a 2020 year cycle internationally. And as many have said, 2020 is the awakening number because it's the number of clear vision, so to speak. It's the number of clear vision. It's the number of the awakening. It's the number of also judgment. The number 20 alone, because it's 2020, that becomes a master number. Not just because you see 22 when you remove the two zeros, that's a master number. And not because you see the zero. Those are two zeros. That's also a master number, whether you want to acknowledge that or not. I look at numerology or numerovation from a holistic perspective. Let me repeat that again. I look at numbers or numerovation, which is my system of numerology, my hybrid system of numerology, motivating through your numbers. And I say there's a duality in Pandora's box for a reason, because numbers give the duality of it all, where it's a positive thing, but yet they said Pandora's box represented a negative thing because it releases something. It's like it releases a new sickness, it releases death. But good and evil are basically the balance of the universe, or positive and negative is basically the balance of the universe, which are both needed. We have protons and neutrons in our body, and electrons, but protons and neutrons because we're dealing with positive and negative. In this realm, positive and negative becomes good and bad. And usually when bad things are released, it helps us to be aware of what we need to do to be able to navigate so we can become better. If a bad person is revealed in your family, and let's say a child in your family sees that bad person doing a multitude of bad things, but don't want to grow up like that, whether they take the lessons of that and learn not to do it, like myself, for instance. I realized that my father and my uncle at one time were gamblers and users of a lot of stuff and, marijuana and different drugs. But when I grew to understand and watch what it did to my family and did to them, I eventually left it alone because it was always in my mind that I didn't like the effects of this thing. So Pandora's box in that sense is not negative, because Pandora's box is here to reveal certain things. That's why it's in a box, and when it's opened up, all these things are released. It's in a beautiful box. There's nothing wrong with the beautiful box that Pandora was given, but the curiosity of her going down the road of opening the box, whether how many years it took for her to open up the box, or for humans to open up the box, no matter how long it took, the box still represented beauty. It still represented a blessing to her because it was a gift that was given to her. It was a present for a wedding, a union. But because it was open, whatever was in the box had to come out, because the curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity killed the cat. So she opened the box to reveal what was in the box. But satisfaction brought her back and brought it back to a reality, because once you learn what's in the box and you're trying to get it back into the box, you're going to have to find methods and methodologies on how to offset whatever comes out of the box. And this is what's happening in our time and has been happening for many years since this story of Pandora's been. You've always heard, oh, they've opened up Pandora's box. World War I, they've opened up Pandora's box. World War II, they've opened up Pandora's box. World War III, if it ever comes, is going to be an opening of Pandora's box. But out of those world wars, I, II, III, and any other war, there are casualties of war. There's things that come out of it. There's lessons that come out of it. And there's blessings that come out of it because things are being revealed and opened up. It's just like a wound or a bad disease or a bad pimple coming out. That is part of a Pandora's opening, because in order for that disease to come out of your body, it has to be detox. It has to be a flushing of. So opening of Pandora's box representing a detox of something. Something has to be ugly and it has something ugly has to come out of that wound. That's why when you squeeze the pus, you start seeing green and all kinds of different colors coming out of your skin. But something ugly has to come out of that quote unquote pimple or Pandora or that sickness. Something has to be detoxed for you to start healing. So whatever is supposed to come out of Pandora is a lessons and a blessings for each one of us to heal mentally, physically, and spiritually. This is coming out of my thoughts right now, because the word Pandora first, not with even the S. I didn't even add the S yet. But the word Pandora adds up to the master number 33. And those who study the numbers know that master number 33 is the number of healing and teaching. Pandora, that's the word. It represents healing and teaching. That's not bad. That's good. On the negative of the 33, because of the master number that it has, remember 3 itself deals with scandal, being reckless with your tongue, being reckless with your body, being reckless with your spirituality, being reckless. So instead of you being a healer or a teacher, you can be a super criminal in some way, a super herder of people, a super destruction of people, because there's duality in the numbers. I want you to think about this, because in the Pythagorean system, which the Greeks really listened to, and I'm dealing with the Pythagorean system also with the Chaldean system, because the Greek, and this is a Greek methodology, a Greek mythology, Pandora's box. I'm dealing with that because in their system of the Greek system, which we know Pythagoras was of the Greek, and I'm sure Pythagoras studied this name also in his science of numbers. It adds up to a master number 33. The word box adds up to a number 14, which is a 5. And in the study of numerology, in both systems, the number 14 is a number that is known as a number that deals with the combinations of people, movement of people, danger from natural forces, and tempests, and water, and air, and fire. We're talking about Pandora's box now. We're talking about Pandora's box. And the word box adds up to the number 14. So it has a duality, because remember, the 1 and the 4 represents creativity. It represents structure and discipline on one side, and on the negative side, it represents uncreativity, indecisiveness, but also the undisciplined of the 4. If you're not structured and if you're not structured and organized, then you're undisciplined and you're unorganized and unstructured. Just keeping it basic and simple from a numerical perspective, because I like to see the motivation of it. You understand? And of course, 1 plus 4 equals 5. And anybody who studies numbers know 5 in its negative can be scattered, disorganized, unuseful, unusing of their powers, as far as being unusing of their powers, as far as being loving their freedoms too much that they become scattered brain, unstructured, and undisciplined. But the first 2 numbers says they need to be creative and need to be structured, disciplined, and organized in both systems, the Pythagorean system and the Chaldean system, which adds up to a 5. And then you notice that I have a mystical number that shows up there, which is the 10, which is the wheel of fortune, and which those who study tarot numerology understand that the Wheel of Fortune can go both ways because they can be known for good or evil when 10 shows up. That's the mystical number because I'm adding the two systems together and boom, manifests as that 10, which is the mystical number of the one, but it deals with, when you deal with 10, 10 is known as the Wheel of Fortune number, so to speak. According to Shiro's book and various other books in studying tarot and Chaldean numerology, the Wheel of Fortune is a number of honor, faith, self-confidence, rise and fall, duality, which means one's name or one's situation will be known for good or evil according to one's desires. So it's according to the desire of the individual that deals with a box like this. If it's going to be of significantly a healing number or significantly a number of danger, it's up to you, the individual that handles a box like this, or Pandora's box, and we'll be getting into that. Now, going back to Pandora's master number 33, in the science of numerology, that 33 is a very powerful number because it consequently means that it's a promise and assistance and association with ranks and position. It's a highly elevated master number, which deals with, as up to the number 6, which 6 deals with balance, harmony, love, and reciprocity, truth, justice, being truth, and all that stuff being revealed. Now think about this. On the other side, in the Chaldean system, Pandora adds up to the number 28. I'm still talking about Pandora without the S because it's Pandora's box. So I'm still going to add the S. I'm going to show you something in the but Pandora in the Chaldean system represents the number 28, which is a number that deals with opposition. It deals with things can be taken away from you or that nation or people if they don't learn to be careful and provide for the future. So they always have to be prepared. When you have a number 28 that pops up in any of your charts or under your birthday, you got to be prepared for certain things and be able to provide for the future with compassion, with loyalty for not only self, but others. But 28, as far as the word, the name Pandora, now that's a woman's name now, Pandora. So anybody named themselves Pandora, boom, this also is pertaining to you. If you decided to name your daughter Pandora or your child or any of your children Pandora, that also pertains to you. You know what I'm saying? Also, it's a number that indicates loss through trust in others and opposition and competition in trade, and danger of loss through the law, and the likeliness of having to begin life's lessons over and over again. And sometimes it's not known as a fortunate number, but if you know how to find the duality in the numbers of the 2 and the 8 and what it means, and usually in certain forms of numerology, it's called a divorce number. 28 is known as a divorce number. And I say there's a positive and negative in that because if the person born under the number or has a destiny number, because the destiny number is when you add up all the letters in your name, if a person has all the destiny numbers add up to a 28, I always tell them, I always ask them the question, how was the relationship? How did they see their relationship with their mom and dad? Was the mom and dad a secure, founded, strong relationship, or was it one of those of despair and just fighting and arguing? Because if a person born under the 28 or connected to the number 28 have seen turmoil in their family, they're more than likely going to go down the same road as their mother or father, or strive to learn the lessons and keep on going through learning the lessons of their moms and dad because they didn't see a good relationship. But if they did see a good relationship, especially pertaining to women, because these are two feminine numbers according to certain systems of numerology, they're more than likely to try to find a man like their father who treated their mother so well. And if their father didn't treat their mother so well, they're more than likely to run into men that constantly act like their father because they're looking always in their blood and their DNA for the father figure or that mother, or the male. If a male have this number, they're looking for somebody like their mother who took care of them, who cooked for them, who all that. They always have to look for that because it's in their DNA and this is what they see. If they're seeing the negative or the positive, they usually attract those like that and need to probably help heal them, because these are also two healing numbers in two different perspectives. Just dealing with the number. Now, Pandora's in the Pythagorean system adds up to the number 34, which is a number that represents observing, observation, listening, paying attention to people more than you talk. It adds up to the number 7, so it deals with secrecy and secrets being revealed. So that's Pandora's box, secrets being revealed. So Pandora represents the secrets inside, the secret of that individual or that energy being revealed. That's the Pandora's box when I add the S to it. And 3 and 4 represents expansion and growth and the release of something, but also the 4 represents the need of being very careful of the unusual outcomes when you release it. What unusual thing might come out of it if you release it? That's where the 4 comes in, because 4 rules the unusual. It rules the strange things that might come, and then it adds up to the 7, which could be a secret that need to be kept in, or a secret that needed to be revealed in the future or later down the line, because it's a 7. And as I've said in most of my numerology breakdowns, just the recent, 7 is one of the numbers of secret agents. It either rules under the CIA or FBI. Well, because it's the CIA deals with international, that's more under the 5 energy. The FBI deals with more of the internal energy, and that's what 7 rules, that FBI, because it deals with the internal energy, the internal secrecy that they have to deal with here, and how to do secret intel programs and do secret things in there. So that 7 is really prevalent in secret agents or FBI, and then the number 5 is more CIA, because CIA does more international. 5 is more of that freedom and traveling, more that traveling number. That's a hardcore traveling number. 7 is a traveling number also, but 5 is that hardcore need for freedom to move and be what they want. That's why they become in disguise. As I said, females might be a CIA agent, males might be, they can become anything they want to, because it's that flexible number of the number 5 when it deals with the CIA. They can be whatever they want. They could become an Arab. They could become an Arab or a Jewish leader, and you wouldn't know that they CIA till later on down in life. Or a Black leader in one of the African countries can also work for the CIA. And I know that if you check out the numbers behind those people that has been revealed over the years to be CIA, you'll find a lot of 5s and 7s in that chart. I am so sure of it, because I've been doing the research. I'm checking this stuff out. Interesting. So in the Pythagorean system, it adds up to the 34, which is a 7. And that 34 represents strife and trials in the early parts of its energy. In the Chaldean system, which is a more mystical and more older system, it adds up to a number 31. Now, 31 is a very interesting number, because it deals, before it reaches the 4, it deals with self-containment, being isolated, being lonely, or something that had to be contained. So Pandora's, the name Pandora's, which also there was a containment that had to happen. And even in the history of the mythical Greek woman, Pandora, there was a self-containment, isolated thoughts that she had in her mind. That's why she decided to open the thing. There was something in her mind. There was a curiosity. So you can imagine her getting this wedding gift, and for a certain amount of years, she's like wondering, what the heck is in this box? She's in her own thoughts now, because 4s and 7. Now remember, the name adds up to those 4s and 7s, Pandora's, when you add that S to it. So there's a deep in thought. There's things in her mind that's running through her. Just like America. What you notice, 7 and 4, Pandora adds up to 7 and 4 in both systems. And when is America's birthday? July the 4th. July, the 7th month, the 4th day. Is that coincidence? Oh, no, it's not. I'm saying that because Pandora'S box, or the name Pandora's with the S at the end, represents the 7-4. And throughout years since New America has been in existence, they've been opening Pandora's box for years. They've been acting like a female that's been curious all over the world, all over the world. They've been curious to be in this world, be curious to be part of this union, curious to get into this world, to learn about this. Curiosity is what America thrives off of, being curious. They're always curious about technology because they want to be the leaders of the world power. That's why they're curious. They want to be leaders of the world power. They want to be the superpower over everything. Hey, and I have no problems with that. I have no problems with that. But it comes with positive and negative. It depends on how they use what they get and the power that they receive out of this. And the mystical number out of that is 11, because 11 deals with deception on the negative. It deals with treachery on the other way. So on the negative, they could use deception and treachery to get what they want out of it, because 7 plus 4 equals 11. I'm just showing you where the numbers patterns keep on showing, because we study mathematics or study the forms of numbers to find the patterns. So it's not a coincidence that Pandora's represents the patterns. And when you add Pandora, when you add the number 34 to the 14 in the Pythagorean system, it adds up to 48. And 4 and 8 is a number 3 that represents the number 12, which represents expansion and growth, which is a 3. But remember, 48 also represents mental superiority over others, or wanting to have mental superiority over others, especially dealing with the mental plane. So they always want to have the Pandora's box together, represents superiority over others, but also deals with also dealing with the material side of one thing, and delving towards more of the material side of one thing, instead of balance it out with the spiritual and the physical, which is interesting enough, is because 4 and the 8 has its own separate meaning. 4 dealing with discipline, again, structure, organization, weird and unusual things, and 8 dealing with money, finance, entrepreneur, being ahead of the game in all forms of business, which undoubtedly is an American energy and big business energy. That's what they want to be. They need structure, discipline, and organization in order to be that business, or take that business or those entrepreneur skills to another level, and always be on top of their business, because that's what 8. But both numbers represents discipline and organization, especially because 8 is a multitude of 4, and those numbers represent the need to be on a disciplinary path. Just to give some preference to it. But because it adds up to a number 12, 4 plus 8 equals 12. In numerology, the 12 represents suffering, anxiety of the mind, being a sacrificial lamb, being a victim, being sacrificed for the plans and the intrigues of the others. Sometimes they call the 12 the hangman number. Sometimes they call the number 12 in tarot numerology the hangman number. But still, one has its individual personality, or one has its individual, which deals with being creative, being the trailblazers and leaders. 2 representing compassion, companionship, balance in one sense. And then it adds up to a number 3, which deals with the positive of a 3, which is dealing with expansion and expressing on multiple levels. The negative of that 3 is being reckless, scandalous. And I tell people all the time, there's duality in numbers. But in the Chaldean system, which is interesting, it has up to a 45. When you add Pandora, which is a 28, in the Chaldean system, Pandora's box, Pandora's adds up to 31, and the Pandora's with the S adds up to 31 in the Chaldean system, and then adds up to 14 in the Pythagoras. In the Chaldean system, the box add up to 14. You add 14 plus 31, you get 45. Pandora's box. Is it coincidence that we have a president that's the 45th president that seemed to be opening Pandora's box all over? Maybe, maybe not, but there's no coincidence. There's only synchronicity. And if you study 45, which equals the number 9, 45, which equals the number 9, remember 45 is what we call the number, what we call the number of the promise of authority, power, strength, command, but it also indicates productivity, creativity, and if they sow good seeds during their reign or during its existence, it can manifest international and great things because it adds up to a 9, and 9 is the international number, not only for war, because 9 is also connected to the element or the planet Mars, but also for passion. It's also dealing with how passionate are you, and sometimes, yes, they will get into wars. But so for the 45 itself is a powerful number because it also dictates that it's a number that connects to the future, but it also says that this number must carry out their own ideals and plans. So Pandora's box is an ideal and a plan that had to be carried out when you opened it, because these things needed to be released so humanity can understand that they do exist. It can't be bliss forever. If it was bliss forever, we would still be in the quote unquote garden and Eden forever. And even in the quote unquote so-called garden, there was disruption in the garden. That's why the manifestation of the quote unquote snake, which is all mythology and all, there's no talking snakes and all that kind of stuff. It's all mythology. It's all metaphor. It's all of that. It's all metaphor. That's why the Bible or the Quran are mathematical books if you understand them deeply. And I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm really about the motivation and the numerovation of this. So Pandora's box on one side represents 3, which deals with expansion and the need to expand. But also on the other side of the 3, it represents being mindful of the reckless talk and the reckless decisions that being made. So when you open up Pandora's box, you have to be very careful and be ready for the consequences, and more than likely be ready to be healed from the consequences of that number 3 energy. On the other side, in the more mystical and more older system of numerology, Pandora's box adds up to 45, which is a 9. So again, the discipline still is in front. The discipline and organization on one side, weird and unusual situations on the other side, and 5 being an expansion number, but a scattered brain number on the other side, or a scattered number, which can lead to scandal and all that. But as up to the number 9, which deals with international connections and international plays, the willingness to learn different languages and to spread themselves on an international and universal level, because 9 is the universal humanitarian number, the universal love number on one instances, but on the other side, 9 shows up, especially when it shows up in the Chaldean system. Because remember, in the Chaldean system, if you look at the numbers chart on the top there, in the Chaldean system, ancient Chaldean, they don't have a number 9 in their chart, only in the Pythagorean system, and more than likely in the Nigerian system also. But we're going to deal with those two because that's what's prevalent and strong in what we're teaching today and what's going on in this day and time. So if the ancient Chaldeans didn't use the number 9, it's not that they negated it. They realized that the number 9 was such a sacred number that when it showed up, we had to be very alert, because it either could bring universal love or universal war and hate. It can bring, that's the duality of the number 9. Can bring love or hate. Remember Raheem, Radio Raheem? Could be love or hate. Let's say put hate too. Let's put hate. Could be love or hate. Telling you, that's how powerful this whole thing is. So Pandora's box is necessary. Because when you open up something that you're curious about, then you find out what it is that you have to deal with. And then you in your mind would have to create the circumstances and situation to heal from what you revealed or what you let out of the box. Keeping it simple. I'm going to keep it moving, family. I just wanted to drop that because that was in my mind and that was in my heart. And you wouldn't believe, it's like 4:30 in the morning in New York City. So I'm up. I've been up from 3 o'clock contemplating this, and I was going to do it another day, but being that I woke up around 3 something, and it came to my mind when I started watching Black Dot and Malcolm speak on D. Wayne and and then about the Pandora's box of the child and opening those Pandora's box of children, and being that his child want to be a he into a she and all that. That's a Pandora's box. That's one of the boxes. And that's coming out of Greek philosophy, because we know the Greeks was into transgenderism. They were into pedophilia. They was into homosexuality. They was into all of these things that we are manifesting now. That was already revealed back in the times of Greek history. So when you're opening up a Pandora's box, and like Professor Smalls and Pandora's box in European history Pandora's box in European history is like bringing their ancestors to life again. Just like we seek to bring our ancestors to life, they are also seeking to bring their ancestors, like the Alexander the Great and the Dionysus and the Pythagorean and all that, where they would call people like Einstein and these various scientists the Pythagorean of this day and time, or the Isaac Newton of this day. They always striving to bring their ancestors, just like we're supposed to strive to bring our ancestors. But like Polite said in one of his books called Genetic Colonic, we've been mixed up and fixed up to colonialism and rape and slavery and all that kind of stuff. So some of us have some of the genetic seeds of these Europeans that, and eventually in this day and time, we will bring out this Pandora's box. It's happening. It's being shown, and although it's being used or things are being manipulated, or people's chemical imbalances being manipulated, or people's mentalities being manipulated to bring it out more, and then they're using celebrities and stars to make it a norm, we have to be aware of what we release in Pandora's box, because either we're going to bring universal love or we're going to bring universal war, hate to the horizon, which is happening in the mystical symbol of it, or we're going to bring recklessness, scatteredness, and all kinds of manners of madness coming on the 3 energy, or we're going to bring expansion and growth. It depends on, it's up to us what we're going to release, because Pandora's box, as far as I'm concerned, is open. And I'm just recognizing what it is within myself, within my family, but also in the community, and what I watch on television and that's why I'm very careful of what I put in my head, because I don't want it to foster, because it can create mental disturbances. That's why I tell people to be careful of watching the news or people that's always talking about negative. If you're going to talk about negative, even in the so-called conscious community, if you're going to constantly talk about conspiracies and all that kind of stuff, give the positive to it. I see the positive and the negative. That's why I do numerovation. I see the positive. Pandora's box has been giving a bad rap when it's just a box, a wedding gift that was given to a woman in Greek mythology. Wedding gifts are good. It's what comes out of the wedding gifts that can be a problem. And if you do open that wedding gift, which is supposed to be a good thing, because it's a woman that's getting married and people are giving gifts for the union of that marriage, if you're commanding a woman who has innate curiosity and tell her not to open this gift, you messing around, because you know she's going to open it. Come on, that's like saying leaving your phone around your woman, and if she knows your password, she's going to check your phone. Let's be real. Let's be real. So Pandora's box represents something of, and like I said, like I read earlier, let me read it again to y'all, those who missed it. Now, so Pandora's box, like it says, the origin and the use of Pandora's box come from the ancient Greek story about a character named Pandora, who was given a box as a wedding gift, but was ordered not to open it. Eventually, curiosity overcame her, and she opened the box, releasing death, evil, and misery into the world. She released a storm, and to every storm, there's always a calm. There's a balance. There's always. So even if she released the storm of death, evil, and misery, according to the history into the world, there is a calm. If we calm down, if we look back into it, relax, study the death, the evil, the misery, and its root, and pluck that root out, and going back into the positive love frequency. Because what's going to overcome a lot of the death, evil, and misery of the world is unconditional love. That's what's going to overcome the misery and death and evil of this world, is unconditional, ancient, unconditional love. And I say ancient because unconditional love is an old thing, because it took unconditional love to manifest us here on this realm. Although we had to go through the birth canal and the pain of birth, there's a duality. You still have to go through the pain of birth, and the child goes through pain, squeezing through, and the even into the love making and all that. There's a love energy happening, and there's a painful energy happening where, whether dealing with the penetration and all that, things have to happen to complement these things, but there's still a love and hurt or pain. And there's a healing in both, in the duality. It's a duality in both. We just have to understand the duality and live on the highest vibration of the duality, highest vibration of the number 3 and the highest vibration of the number 9, especially pertaining to Pandora's box. I have no problems with Pandora's box because I understand its duality. And once you out there understand the duality of Pandora's box, you could either open it for the good in this realm or the evil in this world. Everything is in your hands. That's why that wedding gift was given to Pandora. And it was all in her hands what she decided to release because of curiosity. And like I said, people always say, curiosity killed the cat, curiosity killed the cat. The end of that is satisfaction brought them back. So once she opened up that box, satisfaction of what was in it brought her back to reality. So again, it more than likely through woman, because Pandora was a woman, that's how we're going to heal this world. Through women, because women are the ones that give birth to our nation of men and women that come here to do great things. So through woman who opened the box, through her vaginal box is when we're going to bring the healing back to the world. My brothers and sisters, I love you. I respect you. If you want to do a Numerovation session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. What is your Pandora's box? Both male and female have a Pandora's box. Both male and female have duality. All numbers have duality. What is your Pandora's box? What are you revealing that can cause misery and evil and death in your family or amongst yourself? What is the challenges in your life? And what are some of the positive, higher understanding of your mathematics connected to your birthday and your name? Let us help you. Let Numerovation be your guide, because that's why I do my system of numerology, which I invented, or could have been reinvented, but I know I invented it. It's in the Urban Dictionary under my name, King Simon Kweku. What is your numerovation? What is the balance of you? What can you offset? Because like I always say, once you understand your lower frequency energy or your negative energy, that you can help manage that and strengthen your more positive and productive energy. And that's what I honestly am here to do for myself, for my family when they want to come to me for Numerovation sessions, to my friends when they really want to come to me for my Numerovation sessions, and to the public when they really want to come to me. No matter what color you are, whatever gender, whatever you're going through, there is always a positive and a negative, a high and a low. Or you could be comfortable and just stay complacent. And like they said, comfort is the enemy of progress. Family, have a great day, afternoon, and evening. Please share this video and share it with people that might need it. And like I always say, numerology is not here to take you away from your religion, your spiritual ways of life, none of that. It's a guide. It's like a GPS. It's here to give guidance and give basic guidance and understanding. None of the modalities that you've heard or been or called and been called demonized or divination and all that. None of them. They're trying. Anytime people have promoted that and said that it was something that was not good to do, is because the people that rewrote scriptures or decided to write these scriptures wanted to control you. That's why it was so strong during slavery or colonialism to use the Bible or use Quran to try to control the human existence, because they know the book has power, because it was written with the mathematical power in it. But you got to understand the duality of these things. Understand the duality. That's why I respect the Muslim. I respect the Hebrew. I respect the Christian. I'm not trying to take you away from your religion. I'm just giving you guidance. That's all. Just like right now, everybody don't know directions and know how to get to where they got to go. We forgot how to drive down the I-95 without putting a GPS on now. Numerology or numerovation is just that GPS, that external GPS to give you an objective perspective on how you need to go, whether it's high or low, whether it's positive or negative, whether it's good or evil in your relationship, in your personal life, in your business life, whatever. That's what numerology and numerovation, what I call numerovation, is here to do. Once again, have a great day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're getting this message. And please, if you are outside of the United States, please text me your full name and date of birth through WhatsApp. Or you can email me at Numerovation with King Simon. Numerovation, Numerovation with WITH, King Simon, KING SIMON @gmail.com. You could also do that, or hit me up through WhatsApp at 347-496-1022 if you're outside of the United States, in Canada, in the Caribbeans, in Benin, in Europe, wherever you are. Or if you are in the United States, just text me at 347-496-1022, and then I'll check my schedule, get back at you. I will text you back the information, what you need to do, where to send PayPal or Cash App and all that. And if you feel this information was necessary, please send a Cash App or PayPal. Cash App, my Cash App is Cash App King Simon 3158. That's King Simon 3158. Or my PayPal, you can go to www.paypal.me/the Numerovator. That's /the Numerovator. THENUMEROVATOR, the Numerovator. Or if you want to keep it simple, /King Simon. That's www.paypal.me/King Simon. And remember, I got a lot of events coming up. Go to my WordPress. That's KingSimonProductions.wordpress. Go to my Instagram, King Simon Productions, on Numeroversity at Instagram. Go to my Twitter. That's King Simon Prod. That's PROD, King Simon Prod. Or go to my Facebook page. That's MC Simon, or King Simon is my main page, my public page that everybody can get on. Is King Simon Productions on Facebook. Once again, I love myself wholeheartedly. That's why I love you, because we are all energetically connected, whether you know me physically or not, whether you heard me, you are watching this for a reason. And I hope and pray and meditate that whoever this is supposed to get to, whatever family member is supposed to get to, whoever you're supposed to share this with, that it really gets to you in full sincerity. Because I practice what I practice with integrity and sincerity. We have a financial currency exchange, a circulating, because we're supposed to circulate and support each other's gifts and talents. And this is one of my gifts and talents, to be able to look at numbers and look at words and look at names and look at birthdays from a whole perspective. And remember, coming up, we have a numerology and astrology workshop, all-day workshop, part 2, coming up in June with a Quiet Storm, the astrologer, Lloyd Strayhorn, the astronumerologist, and myself, the Numerovator, the founder of Numerovation. And then I'm working on bringing Ra Aku to do an all-day workshop from his system of cosmophysics. I just talked to him the other day, and I want to bring him to New York and really do it differently, really have myself and him going. I do the numerology, I do the numerovation, he does the cosmophysics, because both of us has created our own system in our own genre, in our own lane. And I respect him immensely, and he respects me immensely. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it all day. More likely, probably in May. If not May, we might do it in July or August. Around that time. It's a private all day, only 55 people, and only all the questions and answers are going to be helpful to all those that's going to be in the audience from both perspectives and how they all work collectively, how these things work. So big up to Raku. I'm going to talk I know Aquarius Maxim is so busy. I'm definitely going to talk to her. I'm going to talk to Blue Pill, because Blue Pill is doing that 44 thing, and 44 is a powerful number for real, if you understand that 44. So big up to Blue Pill and Red and doing all they kind of do. Big up to all the people that have supported me over the years in my Caribbean reggae music, soca music endeavors back in the day to what I'm doing now. And remember, get my books. If you want to find out my links to my 3 books right now, you can go to kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, and go to the merchandise section of King Simon merchandise, King Simon products, whatever it says on the menu, go to that, and then you can scroll down and go to the links for each book. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, our children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion, and all publicity is good publicity. Just spell my name right. It's the revised version of no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Good book. Motivate you on how to promote your business, the importance of promotion, understanding sponsorship and all that kind of stuff. And it's a good book just to find out my story and my walk in promotion throughout the years, through the last 25 years of doing it. November will mark my 25th year celebration anniversary. And I'm not just going to do a lecture. I'm going to do a private seminar and workshop for probably for 60 to 100 people. I'm looking for that, and more than likely try to live stream it. But it's an all day workshop for that particular thing. I'm not gonna do a lot of the major lectures. I'm just gonna work with people like Brother Rich, Brother Rich got something coming up with Billy Carson. Sonetta got something coming up with the debate on March the 22nd. Brother Rich's thing is going to be May 9th with Billy Carson, a workshop where I think only 100 people is invited, all that. Whoever makes it in, that's who's going to make it in, but it's a workshop. And that's what we need to do, applicable workshop. I got something with Professor James Smalls coming up on April 18th and 19th. So please go to my Eventbrite. That's kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. That's kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. Hope to see y'all soon. Hope to hear from you soon, so we can talk this mathematics and this numerovation for your growth and your development. And I record all sessions and send them to you, so you can listen to it over and over and over again. You will reconnect to what you need to do. And if you listen to the guidance, if you're hard-headed and don't want to listen, that's totally up to you. I always say it in the recordings, numerology or numerovation is for guidance. If you want to listen to the guidance, it's up to you. If you don't want to listen, it's up to you. All I can tell you, like we like to say, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be at peace. Take care. And don't be afraid of Pandora's box, because Pandora's box always reveal the great part and the other part. Just understand the greatness that you need to learn from it. It's always a lesson and a blessing. Calm and storm. Pay attention. Peace.